As a Christian, it's essential to approach the topic of climate change with a critical and nuanced perspective, recognizing that the issue has been manipulated and distorted by various agendas. The Bible teaches us to be good stewards of the earth and to care for God's creation, but it's equally important to separate fact from fiction and to identify the underlying motivations behind the climate change narrative. In recent years, the climate change agenda has been hijacked by radical environmentalists, politicians, and corporations seeking to advance their own interests and ideologies. Christians can fight back against the fake climate change agenda by first educating themselves on the issue. This involves seeking out credible sources of information, such as scientific studies and data, and being cautious of biased or misleading reports. It's crucial to understand the differences between climate change, which is a natural and ongoing process, and the more controversial concept of anthropogenic global warming (AGW), which posits that human activities are the primary cause of climate change. By being informed, Christians can effectively counter misinformation and challenge those who seek to exploit the issue for their own gain. Another way Christians can fight back is by promoting a biblical worldview on the environment. The Bible teaches us that God created the earth and entrusted it to humanity's care, but it also reminds us that our ultimate allegiance is to God, not to the created world. This perspective helps to balance our concern for the environment with our commitment to human well-being and economic development. Christians can advocate for responsible and sustainable practices that prioritize human flourishing, such as access to affordable energy, clean water, and nutritious food. Furthermore, Christians can expose the ideological underpinnings of the climate change agenda, which often involve a radical rejection of traditional values and a push for global governance. The climate change movement has been linked to socialist, Marxist, and even pagan ideologies that seek to undermine Christian principles in Western democracy. By revealing these connections, Christians can help to debunk the myth that climate change is a neutral or apolitical issue. Instead, they can show how it has been co-opted by those who seek to remake society in their own image. In addition, Christians can support organizations and initiatives that promote environmental stewardship from a Christian perspective. These organizations, such as the Cornwall Alliance and the Acton Institute, offer a more balanced and biblical approach to environmental issues, recognizing the importance of human flourishing and economic development alongside environmental protection. By partnering with these organizations, Christians can help to amplify a more nuanced and compassionate voice on climate change, one that prioritizes human well-being and the common good. Finally, Christians can pray and engage in spiritual warfare against the forces of deception and manipulation that are driving the fake climate change agenda. The Bible reminds us that our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against spiritual forces of darkness that seek to deceive and dominate humanity. By praying for discernment, wisdom, and courage, Christians can help to counter the spiritual dimensions of the climate change agenda and promote a more truthful and compassionate approach to environmental issues. In conclusion, Christians have a critical role to play in fighting back against the fake climate change agenda. By educating themselves, promoting a biblical worldview, exposing ideological underpinnings, supporting Christian organizations, and engaging in spiritual warfare, Christians can help to challenge the dominant narrative on climate change and promote a more nuanced and compassionate approach to environmental issues. As followers of Jesus Christ, we are called to be salt and light in a world that often prioritizes ideological agendas over truth and human well-being. By standing up for a biblical perspective on climate change, we can help to create a more just, compassionate, and sustainable world for all.